Min-jun Park sat in the corner booth of Golden Burger restaurant. He wore simple jeans and a black t-shirt. Nothing about him looked special. He looked like any other customer having lunch on a Tuesday afternoon. The restaurant was busy. Families ate burgers and fries. Teenagers laughed at their phones. An old couple shared a milkshake. The smell of fried food filled the air. Music played softly from the speakers above. Min-jun picked up his double cheeseburger. He took a small bite. His eyes moved slowly around the room. He watched everything, but he did not look like he was watching. This was his skill. This was what made him good at his job. He was a detective, not just any detective. He worked undercover for the police. His job was to catch drug dealers, big drug dealers, the kind that hurt many people. Min-jun had come to this restaurant every day for 3 weeks, always at the same time, always ordering the same food: double cheeseburger, large fries, cola with no ice. The workers knew his face now. They thought he just really liked their burgers. But Min-jun was not here for the food. He was here for someone else, someone dangerous, someone who thought he was too smart to get caught. A young woman named Emma worked behind the counter. She was maybe 19 years old. She had taken Min-jun's order today. She smiled at every customer. She did not know that something bad would happen soon. None of the people in the restaurant knew. Min-jun checked his watch. It was 1:35 in the afternoon. He was waiting for something, or someone. He took another bite of his burger. He looked calm. Inside, his heart beat faster. He thought about the last 6 months. So much had happened, so much pain, so much work. It all led to this moment, to this restaurant, to this Tuesday afternoon. 6 months ago, Min-jun had a partner. Her name was Hana Kim. She was also a detective. They worked together for 5 years. They were friends, good friends. They trusted each other with their lives. Then one night everything changed. Hana went on a drug raid. It should have been simple. Go in, arrest the dealers, come home safe. But something went wrong. Very wrong. Someone told the dealers that police were coming. The dealers were ready. They were waiting. When Hana and the other officers arrived, the dealers started shooting. Hana was killed. 2 other officers were hurt badly. Min-jun was not there that night. He was working on a different case. When he got the call about Hana, he could not believe it. He rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. His partner was gone. The police investigated. They wanted to know who warned the dealers. Someone had leaked information. Someone told the bad guys that police were coming. But who? Min-jun could not sleep after that. He could not eat. He thought about Hana every day. She had a daughter, a little girl who was only 8 years old. Now that little girl had no mother. Min-jun made a promise. He promised to find out who got Hana killed. He promised to make them pay. This was personal now. He started investigating quietly. He looked at all the evidence. He talked to people. He followed trails. Slowly, he learned something terrible. The leak came from inside. Someone who worked with the police had betrayed them, but Min-jun could not find out who. The traitor was too careful, too smart. So Min-jun decided to do something dangerous. He asked his boss to let him go deep undercover. He would pretend to be a criminal. He would get close to the drug dealers. He would find the traitor from the inside. His boss said it was too dangerous. Min-jun did not care. He had to do this. For Hana. For her daughter. For justice. So for 6 months, Min-jun lived a lie. He pretended to be a bad guy. He met drug dealers, small ones at first. He bought drugs from them. He earned their trust slowly. It was hard work. It was dangerous work. One mistake, and he would be killed. But Min-jun was patient. He moved up slowly, from small dealers to bigger ones. He asked questions carefully. He listened. He learned. And finally, he found a name. Victor Reyes. Victor Reyes was a big drug dealer. He controlled drugs in 3 different states. He was smart. He was careful. He met people in public places, coffee shops, parks, and sometimes fast food restaurants. Min-jun learned that Victor had someone protecting him, someone who worked for the law. This person told Victor when police were coming. This person gave Victor secret information. Min-jun believed this was the same person who got Hana killed. So Min-jun made a plan. He would catch Victor and he would catch the traitor, both of them at the same time. He learned that Victor liked to meet people at Golden Burger. Every few weeks, Victor came here to do business. He thought he was safe in a crowd. He thought police would never look for him in a family restaurant. Min-jun had been watching for 3 weeks, waiting. And today, his waiting would end. At 1:40, a black SUV pulled into the parking lot. Min-jun's body went tight, but his face stayed calm. He took another bite of his burger. He took a sip of his cola. The door of the restaurant opened. 3 men walked in. They wore nice suits. They looked like businessmen. But Min-jun knew better. The man in front was Victor Reyes. He was about 40 years old, short dark hair, expensive watch, cold eyes. He walked like he owned the world. Behind him were 2 other men, his guards, his protection. Victor and his men went to the counter. They ordered food, burgers, chicken sandwiches, drinks. They acted normal. Just 3 men getting lunch. Then they sat down at a table. Not close to Min-jun, but not far either. Maybe 3 tables away. Min-jun could hear them if they talked loud. He could see them clearly. Victor kept checking his watch. He was waiting for someone too. At 1:42, another person came into the restaurant. A man Min-jun knew. His name was James Wu. James was also a detective. He worked with Min-jun on this case. He was Min-jun's backup, his safety net. James pretended he did not know Min-jun. He ordered just a coffee. He sat near the exit. Now both detectives were in position. Everything was ready. Min-jun felt his phone buzz in his pocket. He pulled it out slowly. He looked at the screen. A text message. It said, "Package arriving 147. Blue sedan." Min-jun's stomach got tight. This was it. In 5 minutes, someone would arrive. Someone important. Someone who would meet with Victor. Someone who was probably the traitor. He looked at the clock on the wall. 1:42. 5 minutes to wait. 5 minutes until everything changed. The restaurant continued around him. People ate. People talked. People laughed. Nobody knew what was about to happen. Nobody knew that 2 detectives were sitting among them. Nobody knew that a dangerous drug dealer was eating a burger 3 tables away. Min-jun finished his burger. He wiped his hands on a napkin. He waited. He was good at waiting. He had been waiting for 6 months. 6 months since Hana died. 6 months of pain and anger and planning. Now in 5 minutes everything would come together. In 5 minutes he would start getting his revenge, not with guns, not with violence, but with patience, with planning, with the law. Victor checked his watch again. 1:45. 2 minutes to go. James took a sip of his coffee. His hand was steady. But Min-jun knew James was ready. If things went bad, James would act fast. Emma, the cashier, cleaned the counter. She had no idea what was coming. The families kept eating. The teenagers kept laughing. The old couple finished their milkshake. 1:46. Min-jun took a deep breath. He let it out slowly. His training took over. His body relaxed. His mind became clear and sharp. Outside, a blue sedan pulled into the parking lot. This was it. The car door opened. Someone stepped out. Min-jun could not see who yet. The person walked toward the restaurant entrance. The door opened. A woman walked in. She was in her 30s. She wore a nice business suit. She carried an expensive handbag. Her hair was perfect. Her makeup was perfect. She looked professional, important. Min-jun felt like someone punched him in the stomach. He knew this woman. He knew her face. He had seen her at the police station many times. Her name was Sarah Chen. She worked for the district attorney's office. She was a forensic accountant. She helped put criminals in jail. She worked for the good guys, or so everyone thought. Sarah walked straight to Victor's table. She smiled. She sat down. She put her expensive handbag on the table, right between her and Victor. Min-jun could not believe it. The traitor was not a cop. The traitor was someone from the prosecutor's office, someone who had access to all the secrets, all the cases, All the plans. Sarah Chen had gotten Hana killed. Minjun's hands became fists under the table. 6 months of questions finally had an answer. 6 months of searching finally ended. He found her. Now he just had to catch her. Catch her and Victor together. Catch them in the act. Get proof. Get evidence. Get justice. He pulled out his phone. He typed a quick message to James. "It's Sarah Chen from DA. Recording everything." James did not look at him, but Minjun knew he got the message. Minjun had a small recording device hidden in his watch. It was recording everything, every word, every sound. This would be evidence in court. At Victor's table, Sarah and Victor talked. They looked like old friends. They laughed. They smiled. They acted normal. But Minjun could see the truth now. Sarah reached into her handbag. She pulled out a phone. A new phone. Still in the box. She slid it across the table to Victor. She did this smoothly, carefully. Someone not watching would miss it. But Minjun was watching. He saw everything. Victor picked up the phone box. He nodded. Then he reached into his jacket. He pulled out a white envelope. He slid it across the table to Sarah. She took it. She put it in her handbag quickly. Payment. Victor was paying Sarah. For information, for secrets, for betraying her job, for getting cops killed. Minjun's recording device caught it all. Video and audio. Perfect evidence. Sarah and Victor kept talking. They talked about quarterly reports. They talked about shipping schedules. They talked about inventory. But Minjun knew these were code words. They were really talking about drugs, about shipments, about deliveries. Then something changed. Sarah's eyes moved around the restaurant. She was checking to see if anyone was watching. Her eyes passed over the families, over the teenagers, over James. Then her eyes landed on Minjun. She stopped. She looked at him, really looked at him. Minjun kept his face calm. He did not look away. He did not look scared. He just looked like a normal customer. Bored, tired, nothing special. But he saw it. The moment Sarah recognized him. Her eyes went wide for just a second. Her mouth opened slightly. She had seen his photo before. In case files. In police reports. She knew he was a detective. She knew she was caught. Sarah leaned close to Victor. She whispered something. Minjun could not hear the words. But he saw Victor's body go tight. He saw Victor's hand move toward his jacket. Victor turned his head. His cold eyes found Minjun. They stared at each other across the restaurant, criminal and detective, hunter and prey. Victor knew. Sarah had told him. An undercover cop was right here, right now, watching them. The calm Tuesday lunch was over. Something else was starting. Something dangerous. Something deadly. Minjun's hand moved slowly toward his ankle. Under his jeans, he had a small gun. His backup weapon. Just in case. Victor's 2 guards stood up. They moved to different positions. One near the front door, one near the side exit. They were blocking the ways out. They were getting ready for trouble. People in the restaurant kept eating. They did not notice yet. They did not see the danger. They did not know their calm lunch was about to turn into something very bad. Minjun made a choice. He could run. He could call for backup. He could wait. Or he could act now. He thought of Hana, her daughter. The promise he made. Justice. Minjun stood up slowly. He walked toward Victor's table. His steps were calm, steady, like he had all the time in the world. James saw Minjun moving. James put his hand inside his jacket. Ready. Victor watched Minjun come closer. His hand stayed inside his jacket. On his gun, probably. Sarah looked scared now. Her professional mask was gone. She looked like she wanted to run. The restaurant buzzed with normal sounds. Talking, laughing, music. The sounds of ordinary life. The sounds that were about to stop. Minjun reached Victor's table. He looked down at the 3 people. He made sure his recording device could see their faces, could hear their voices. This was the moment. 6 months of waiting. 6 months of planning. 6 months of pain. It all came down to this. Min-jun spoke. His voice was quiet, calm, but everyone at the table heard him clearly. Victor Reyes, Sarah Chen, I think we need to talk. And just like that, the calm lunch turned deadly. Victor's face did not change. He looked at Min-jun with cold, empty eyes. The kind of eyes that had seen many bad things, done many bad things. Eyes that did not feel fear or guilt. Sarah looked different. Her face went pale. Her hands shook a little. She was not used to this. She was not a real criminal. Not like Victor. She was someone who made bad choices, someone who got in too deep, someone who was now very scared. I don't know what you're talking about, Victor said. His voice was smooth, calm, like he was talking about the weather. We're just having lunch, and is that illegal now? Min-jun reached into his pocket slowly. He pulled out his police badge. He kept it low so other people in the restaurant would not see. He showed it to Victor and Sarah. Detective Min-jun Park, Los Angeles Police Department, Narcotics Division. Min-jun kept his voice quiet. I think you both know why I'm here. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. Please. You don't understand. They threatened my family. I had no choice. Everyone has a choice, Min-jun said. His voice was hard now, cold. My partner didn't get a choice. Hana Kim didn't get to choose to live or die. You took that choice from her. Sarah's face crumbled. She knew exactly what Min-jun was talking about. The raid 6 months ago. The raid where Hana died. The raid Sarah had warned the dealers about. Victor leaned back in his chair. He smiled a little. Not a nice smile, a dangerous smile. Detective, you're making a scene. Look around. There are families here, children, old people. You really want to do this here? Min-jun did look around. Victor was right. The restaurant was full of innocent people, people who had nothing to do with this, people who could get hurt if things went wrong. But Min-jun also knew something Victor didn't. James was here. Backup was probably already on the way. Emma the cashier might have already pressed the silent alarm. Police could be outside right now. I want you to come quietly, Min-jun said. Both of you. We walk out of here. Nobody gets hurt. You answer questions. We do this the right way. Victor laughed. It was not a real laugh, it was cold, mean. The right way? You mean the way that puts me in prison for life? I don't think so, detective. One of Victor's guards moved closer, the one near the front door. His hand was inside his jacket, on his gun. Min-jun saw it. James saw it too. Tell your man to relax, Min-jun said to Victor. There are children here. You don't want this to get bad. It's already bad, Victor said. He pulled his phone out, the phone Sarah had just given him. You know what's on this phone, detective? Names, addresses, case files, raid schedules. Everything the district attorney's office knows about my business, about my people, about police operations. He held up the phone. You arrest me, and this information goes public, all of it. Do you know how many undercover cops would be exposed? How many operations would be destroyed? How many criminals would walk free? Min-jun felt sick. Victor was right. If that information got out, it would be a disaster. Years of police work would be ruined. People would die. Bad people would go free. You planned this, Min-jun said. You knew I was coming. I suspected, Victor said. Sarah recognized you from photos. She's seen your file. She told me you were investigating your partner's death. I knew eventually you'd find us. I just didn't know it would be today. Sarah tried to stand up. I'm leaving. You can't stop me. I haven't done anything wrong here. Just having lunch with a friend. Min-jun grabbed her arm, not hard but firm. Sit down. You're not going anywhere. James stood up from his table near the exit. He walked slowly toward them. His hand was under his jacket, on his gun. He was ready. Victor saw James coming. His smile disappeared. You brought backup smart, but not smart enough. Victor raised his hand. A signal. Both of his guards pulled out guns. They held them down by their sides, not pointing at anyone yet. But ready. Very ready. The restaurant was still busy. People still ate and talked. But a few people near Victor's table started to notice something was wrong. They saw the guns. They saw the tension. A woman gasped. A man pulled his child closer. "Put the guns away," Minjun said firmly. "Right now, or this ends very badly for everyone." "For everyone?" Victor asked. "Or just for you?" Time seemed to slow down. Minjun's mind raced. He had to make a choice. A big choice. Fight here and risk innocent people getting hurt? Let Victor go and lose his chance for justice? There had to be another way. "Listen to me carefully," Minjun said to Victor. "This restaurant is surrounded. Police are already outside. Emma, the cashier behind the counter, pressed the silent alarm 4 minutes ago. You're not walking out of here free, but you can choose how this ends." Victor's eyes moved to the windows. He looked outside at the parking lot. His face changed. Minjun was telling the truth. 2 police cars were pulling in. Officers were getting out. They were taking positions around the building. "You set me up," Victor said. His voice was angry now, not calm anymore. "You set yourself up," Minjun replied. "The moment you decided to deal drugs, the moment you decided to buy information from a prosecutor, the moment you got my partner killed." Sarah started crying harder now. "I didn't mean for anyone to die. You have to believe me. They said they would hurt my daughter. They showed me pictures of her school. They knew where she played. What was I supposed to do?" "Come to us," Minjun said. "We protect people like you. We could have kept you and your daughter safe. Instead, you chose money. You chose to help criminals, and a good cop died because of it." Outside, more police cars arrived. Minjun could see SWAT trucks pulling in. This was becoming big. Very big. Victor stood up suddenly, fast. His chair fell backward. Everyone in the restaurant jumped. People screamed. Some people started running toward the doors. "Nobody leaves," Victor shouted. His voice was loud now, commanding. "Everyone sit down, now." His 2 guards raised their guns. They pointed them at the crowd. People screamed louder. Parents covered their children. The old couple hugged each other. Emma behind the counter froze. Her hand was reaching for the phone. One of the guards saw her. "Don't touch that phone," the guard yelled. He pointed his gun at her. Emma put her hands up. She was shaking, crying. She was just a teenager, just a girl with a part-time job. This was not supposed to happen to her. Minjun felt everything slipping away from him. His careful plan, his months of work. It was all falling apart. This was becoming a hostage situation. People could die. Innocent people. "Victor, don't do this," Minjun said. He kept his voice calm, steady. "You're making it worse, much worse." "It can't get worse," Victor shouted. "I'm already dead. You think I go to prison and live? The cartel will have me killed in a week. I'm dead either way." James had his gun out now, pointed at one of the guards. "Drop your weapons. Now, this is your last warning." The guard pointed his gun at James. James pointed his gun at the guard. Minjun pulled out his own gun. He pointed it at Victor. Victor's other guard pointed his gun at Minjun. 4 guns. All pointed at each other. One wrong move and people would die. The restaurant was chaos now. People screaming, crying, trying to hide under tables, trying to protect each other. A little girl was crying for her mother. A man was calling 911 on his phone. "Phones on the table," Victor shouted. "Everyone, phones out, now." People started putting their phones on tables. Slowly. Scared. Some people tried to hide their phones. Keep them. But the guards moved through the restaurant. They collected the phones, put them in a bag. Victor grabbed the little girl who was crying. He pulled her away from her mother. The mother screamed, "No, please. She's just a baby." Victor held the girl in front of him, like a shield. The girl was maybe 5 years old. She had pigtails, a pink dress. She was terrified, crying, shaking. "Now nobody shoots," Victor said, "or this child dies. You understand me, detective?" Minjun's heart sank. This was the worst thing that could happen. A child hostage. This changed everything. Let her go, Minjun said quietly. Please. She's innocent. She has nothing to do with this. Nobody here has anything to do with this, Victor said. But they're all involved now. Because of you. You did this, detective. You brought police here. You made this happen. Minjun felt a wave of guilt. Victor was wrong, but also kind of right. Minjun knew this might happen. He knew Victor might react badly, but he thought he could handle it. He thought he was prepared. He wasn't prepared for this. Nobody could be prepared for this. Outside, a police megaphone sounded. This is the Los Angeles Police Department. We know there is a situation inside. We want to help. Nobody needs to get hurt. Victor laughed, but it was not a happy laugh. It was a desperate laugh. A scared laugh. Too late for that. One of the guards forced everyone toward the kitchen. Families, teenagers, the old couple, workers from the restaurant. They were all pushed through the door into the back. Minjun heard zip ties clicking. The guards were tying their hands. Victor kept the little girl with him. Her mother was screaming in the kitchen, begging, pleading. Sarah sat frozen at the table. She looked like she was in shock. This was beyond anything she expected. She thought she would give Victor some information, get paid, go home to her daughter. She never thought it would become this. Sarah, Victor said, get up. You're coming with us. What? Sarah looked confused, lost. Where are we going? Away from here, Victor said. You, me, and these two detectives. We're going to walk out of here, get in a car, and drive away. That's not happening, James said. His gun was still pointed at the guard. Oh, it's happening, Victor said. He pressed his gun against the little girl's head. Or she dies. Right here. Right now. You want that, detective? Minjun felt trapped, helpless. He had been in bad situations before, dangerous situations, but never with a child's life at risk. Never like this. The police outside called again. We want to talk. Let us send someone in to negotiate. No, Victor yelled toward the window. I don't want to talk. I want a vehicle, an armored van, and safe passage out of the city. You have 20 minutes, or people start dying. Minjun's mind worked fast. 20 minutes. That gave him time. Time to think. Time to plan. Time to find a way out of this. He looked at James. James looked back. They had worked together for 3 years. They knew each other well. They could communicate without words. James's eyes said, we wait for an opening. We stay calm. We keep people alive. Minjun's eyes said, agreed. We protect the innocent. No matter what. Victor's phone rang. The phone on the table. The one Sarah gave him. He picked it up, looked at the screen. His face went white. Who is it? One of the guards asked. The cartel, Victor said quietly. They're watching the news. They know what's happening. He answered the phone. Listened. His face got more and more pale, more and more scared. Yes, sir, Victor said. I understand. Yes, I know. I'll fix it. I promise. He hung up. He looked sick now. Not confident anymore. Not in control. He looked like a man who knew he was already dead. What did they say? The guard asked. They gave me 10 minutes, Victor said. His voice shook a little. 10 minutes to get out of here, or they send someone for me, for my family, for everyone I love. He looked at Minjun. You wanted to know why I'm so desperate, detective? Now you know. I'm not just running from you. I'm running from them, and they're much worse than you. Minjun understood now. Victor was trapped too. Caught between the police and his own people, between prison and death. He had no good choices left. Then surrender, Minjun said. We can protect you. Witness protection, new identity, new life, you and your family. Victor laughed again, that bitter, hopeless laugh. You can't protect me from them. Nobody can. They're everywhere. They know everything. They probably have people in your police department. Sarah made a sound A small gasp. Victor looked at her. Then he looked at Min-jun. He smiled. Not a nice smile. "Oh, detective. You thought Sarah was the only one? You thought she was the only person feeding me information?" Min-jun's stomach dropped. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying there are others," Victor said. "Cops, prosecutors, judges, all on the cartel's payroll. All giving us what we need. Sarah was just one of many." Min-jun felt sick. If Victor was telling the truth, the corruption went deeper than he thought. Much deeper. This wasn't just about getting justice for Hana, this was bigger. Much bigger. The megaphone sounded again. "Mr. Reyes, we want to talk. Let us help you." "You can't help me," Victor screamed at the window. "Nobody can help me. I'm already dead." He was losing control, getting desperate. Desperate people did dangerous things. Min-jun knew he had to calm this down. Fast. "Victor, look at me." Min-jun kept his voice quiet. Calm. Steady. "You're right. You're in a bad situation. But killing people won't fix it. Hurting that child won't fix it. Let her go. Keep me instead. I'm more valuable." "He's right," James added. "Two detectives are worth more than a scared little girl. She can't help you. We can." Victor looked at the little girl in his arms. She had stopped crying. She was too scared to cry now, too shocked. She just stared with big, frightened eyes. For a moment, Min-jun thought Victor might listen, might make the right choice, might let the child go. Then Victor's phone rang again. He looked at it, the cartel calling back. He answered, listened. Then his face went hard, cold. All the fear disappeared. It was replaced by something worse. Acceptance. He was a dead man, and he knew it. He had nothing left to lose. Victor hung up. He looked at Min-jun and James. "New plan. We're taking 4 hostages, the 2 of you, Sarah, and the girl behind the counter." He pointed at Emma. She made a small sound. Scared. So scared. "No," Min-jun said firmly. "Take me. Leave the others." "I don't take orders from you," Victor said. "You 4 are coming with us. The rest stay here, tied up. If they behave, nobody gets hurt. If they don't..." He let the threat hang in the air. One of the guards went to get Emma. She tried to back away, but there was nowhere to go. The guard grabbed her arm, pulled her around the counter. "Please," Emma whispered. "I didn't do anything. I just work here." "Wrong place. Wrong time." The guard pushed her toward the others. Min-jun, James, Sarah, and Emma stood together now. 4 hostages, 2 trained detectives, 1 corrupt prosecutor, 1 terrified teenager. Outside, more police arrived. SWAT team, negotiators, command vehicles. The parking lot looked like a small army was gathering. "They're going to breach," James said quietly to Min-jun. "They won't wait long with hostages inside." "I know," Min-jun said. "We need to make a move, soon." "What move?" James asked. "We're outgunned, surrounded, with civilians at risk." Min-jun looked around. At Victor, at his guards, at the layout of the restaurant, at Emma, at Sarah, at James. He was calculating, planning, looking for an opening. Any opening. Then he saw it. The older guard, the one holding his gun on James. He kept glancing at the windows. At the police outside. He was nervous, uncertain, not as committed as Victor. Maybe he could be turned. Maybe he could be convinced to stand down. The younger guard, the one named Marco who had grabbed Emma. He was shaking, sweating. His finger was too close to the trigger. He was the most dangerous one. Not because he was mean, but because he was scared. Scared people made mistakes. Victor himself was desperate, cornered but also smart, experienced. He would not go down easy. Sarah was useless in a fight, but maybe she could help in other ways. She had information. She knew secrets. She might be valuable. And Emma. Just a teenager. Innocent. Caught up in something terrible. Min-jun had to protect her, no matter what. A plan started to form in Minjun's mind. Risky. Very risky. But it might work. It had to work. He caught James's eye again, signaled with small movements. James understood. They would wait for the right moment, then they would move together. 1 hour, Victor said to the police outside through the window. You have 1 hour to bring an armored van. We drive away. Nobody follows. After we're clear, we release the hostages. You know they won't agree to that, Minjun said. Then in 1 hour, people start dying, Victor said simply, starting with the child. The little girl started crying again. Her mother screamed from the kitchen. Minjun made a decision, a hard decision. He could not wait for the perfect moment. People would die if he waited. He had to act, now, even if it was not perfect, even if it was dangerous. He looked at James one more time. James nodded. He was ready. They both were. 3 years of working together, 3 years of trust. It all came down to this. Minjun took a deep breath, said a silent prayer, thought of Hannah, of her daughter, of justice, of all the innocent people in this restaurant who just wanted to eat lunch. Then he moved. Minjun did not move toward Victor. That would be expected. That would get him shot. Instead, he moved toward Marco, the young nervous guard, the one who was shaking, the one who was scared. Marco, Minjun said softly. He raised his hands slowly. That's your name, right? I heard Victor call you Marco. Marco's gun swung toward Minjun. His hands shook. Shut up. Don't move. I'm not moving, Minjun said. He kept his voice calm, gentle, like talking to a frightened animal. I just want to talk, just talk, that's all. Boss, what's he doing? Marco asked Victor. His voice was high, panicked. Trying to get in your head, Victor said. Don't listen to him. But Minjun kept talking, kept his eyes on Marco. How old are you, Marco? 20? 21? 23, Marco said without thinking. Then he looked angry at himself for answering. 23, Minjun repeated. So young. Your whole life ahead of you. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? I said shut up. Marco's gun hand shook harder. Minjun saw it clearly now, the fear in Marco's eyes. This young man did not want to be here, did not want to hurt anyone. He was just caught up in something bigger than him, something he could not control. Marco, listen to me, Minjun said. Right now you haven't really done anything wrong. Yes, you pulled a gun. Yes, you're part of a hostage situation. But nobody's been hurt yet. Nobody's been killed. You walk away now. The judge might show mercy. Might give you a lighter sentence. Don't listen to him, Victor shouted. But Minjun heard something in Victor's voice. Worry. Victor was worried Marco might actually listen. But if someone dies, Minjun continued, if one person gets hurt, you're part of it. Murder charge. Life in prison. Is that what you want? Life in a cell? For Victor? For the cartel? Marco's face showed conflict, doubt. He was thinking about it, really thinking about it. Marco, stay focused, the older guard said. His voice was firm but not mean. We all leave together, nobody gets left behind. Really? Minjun asked. Is that true? Victor, are you really taking everyone with you when you leave? Victor did not answer right away. That pause said everything. He's going to leave you, Minjun said to Marco. You and the other guard. You'll be the ones who surrender, the ones who go to prison while Victor gets away. That's not true, Victor said quickly. Too quickly. Then tell him, Minjun challenged. Tell Marco he's coming with you in that van. Tell him he's part of the escape plan. Victor looked at Marco, looked at the older guard. For a moment he did not speak. That moment of silence was all the answer anyone needed. Marco's face changed. Understanding hit him. Betrayal. He had been loyal to Victor, followed orders, risked everything. And Victor was going to abandon him. Boss? Marco's voice was small, hurt, like a child who just learned Santa was not real. Marco, don't be stupid, Victor said. Of course you're coming. The detective is just trying to confuse you. But the damage was done. Marco did not believe him anymore. The doubt was planted, growing. James saw the opening. He moved slightly, positioning himself better, getting ready. The older guard saw James move. He adjusted his gun. "Detective, don't." Outside, the police were doing something. Minjun could hear vehicles moving, equipment being set up, a command post, SWAT getting ready. If this did not end soon, they would breach, force their way in. That could get everyone killed. Sarah had been quiet this whole time, sitting frozen, in shock. But now she spoke. Her voice was shaky, weak. "Victor, let me go. I can help you. I have files you need. Information to destroy before they raid your warehouses." Victor looked at her, thinking, calculating. "The files on that phone are encrypted. You already gave me the passwords." "Not all of them," Sarah lied. Minjun could tell she was lying. So could Victor. But Sarah was desperate, trying anything. "There's a second layer of security. Without me, you lose everything." Victor studied her face. Then he smiled. That cold smile. "You're lying, but nice try." Sarah's face fell. Her one hope crushed. Emma, the cashier, was crying quietly, shaking. Minjun wanted to comfort her, tell her it would be okay. But he could not promise that. He did not know if it would be okay. The little girl Victor was holding had stopped crying. She had gone quiet. Too quiet. Minjun knew that was not good. She was going into shock. A 5-year-old child's mind could only handle so much fear before it shut down. "Victor," Minjun said. "The girl. She needs her mother. She's going into shock. Let me take her to the kitchen. Let her mother hold her. Please." Victor looked at the child in his arms. For just a moment, something flickered across his face. Humanity. Guilt. Maybe he had children of his own. Maybe he remembered what it was like to be 5 years old and scared. "No," Victor said, but his voice was softer, less certain. "She's not useful to you," Minjun pressed. "She's too young to walk with us, too small to be an effective shield. Her mother will cooperate better if you give the child back. It's smart strategy." The older guard spoke up. "He's right, boss. The mother will do whatever we say if we return her daughter. But if we hurt the kid, the mother becomes unstable. Dangerous." Victor thought about it. Minjun held his breath. This could be the turning point. One small act of mercy. One child returned to safety. It would change the energy of the whole situation. "Fine," Victor said finally. He called toward the kitchen. "You, the mother, come here." A woman stumbled out of the kitchen. Her hands were still zip-tied. Her face was red from crying. "Please, please give me my baby." "I'm giving you a chance," Victor said. "Your daughter goes back to you, but you do exactly what we say. You keep everyone in that kitchen quiet and calm. You understand?" "Yes, yes. Anything. Just give her to me." Victor pushed the little girl toward her mother. The girl ran, crying again. Relief and terror mixed together. The mother dropped to her knees, wrapped her arms around her daughter as best she could with tied hands. "Thank you," the mother whispered. "Thank you." One of the guards pushed them both back into the kitchen, but Minjun saw it. The shift. Victor was not a complete monster. He could be reasoned with. He could make good choices. "That was the right thing to do," Minjun said to Victor. "See? Nobody got hurt. The situation got better. We can keep making it better. Don't push your luck, detective," Victor warned. But there was less anger in his voice now. More tiredness, like he was exhausted from holding up his tough mask. The police megaphone sounded again. "Mr. Reyes, we saw you release the child. That was good. That shows you want to do the right thing. Keep going. Release more hostages. Let's end this peacefully." Victor checked his watch. 40 minutes left. Where's my van? "It's coming," the voice on the megaphone said. "But these things take time. We need you to show more good faith. Release another hostage." "No," Victor said. "The van first. Then we talk." Stalemate. Minjun knew this was how negotiations went. Back and forth, each side testing, pushing, trying to gain advantage. But time was not on their side. The longer this went, the more likely something bad would happen. Marco was still shaking, still unstable. One wrong move, one loud noise, he might fire his gun accidentally. Victor, Minjun said. What's your end game here? Really? Let's say you get the van. You drive away with us as hostages. Then what? You know police will follow. Helicopters, roadblocks. You can't outrun them. You can't hide. I'll figure it out, Victor said. But he did not sound confident. No, you won't, Minjun said firmly. Because there is no way out. Not anymore. The cartel wants you dead. The police want you arrested. You're trapped. The only question is how this ends. Does it end with everyone alive or does it end in blood? Victor's phone rang again. That same ringtone. The cartel. He looked at the screen. His hand hesitated over the answer button. He did not want to answer, did not want to hear what they had to say. But he answered. Yes? He listened. His face went from pale to white, from white to gray, like all the blood drained out of him. No. Please. Not them. They have nothing to do with this. His voice was begging now. Desperate. I can fix this. I just need time. Please. I'll pay more. I'll do anything. He listened more. Then his hand dropped. The phone fell from his fingers, clattered on the floor. The older guard looked alarmed. Boss? What did they say? Victor did not answer. He just stared at nothing. His eyes were empty, hollow. Boss, the guard said louder. My family, Victor whispered. They took my family, my wife, my kids. They said if I'm not out of here in 30 minutes, they kill them all. The restaurant went silent. Even Marco stopped shaking for a moment. Everyone understood. This just got much worse. Victor, Minjun said carefully, let us help you. We can find your family. We can save them. Victor laughed, but it was not really a laugh. It was the sound of a man breaking, shattering into pieces. You can't save them. Nobody can. The cartel has resources you can't imagine. People everywhere. They already have them. It's already too late. It's not too late, James spoke up. But you need to work with us. Tell us where your family lives, where they might take them. We can send officers there right now. Victor shook his head. You don't understand. The cartel doesn't take people to normal places. They have safe houses, secret locations, places even I don't know about. Sarah spoke quietly. I might know. Everyone looked at her. What did you say? Victor asked. I said I might know where they take people, Sarah repeated. Her voice was stronger now. I've seen files, addresses, properties the cartel owns. It's all in the DA's records, cases we've investigated. Victor moved toward her fast, grabbed her shirt. Tell me, where? I can't just tell you, Sarah said. There are dozens of properties, but if you let me access my computer at the office, I can look up the files, find the most likely locations. Victor stared at her, trying to decide if she was lying, trying to decide if he could trust her. She's lying, the older guard said. It's a trick to get us to let her go. Maybe, Sarah said. Or maybe I'm your only chance to save your wife and children. Your choice. Minjun watched this play out. Sarah was smart. She found leverage, found a way to make herself valuable. But was she telling the truth? Did she really know where the cartel took people? Or was she just trying to save herself? How do I know you're not lying? Victor asked. You don't, Sarah admitted. But what do you have to lose? Without me, your family dies for sure. With me, maybe they have a chance. Victor released her, stepped back. He was thinking hard, weighing options, running out of time. Okay, he said finally. New plan. We take the van. We go to the DA's office. Sarah finds the files. We locate my family. Then I release the hostages. That won't work, Minjun said. The DA's office will be full of people. Security. You can't just walk in there with guns. Then you'll clear the way, Victor said. You're cops. You tell them there's an emergency. You get everyone out. Then Sarah accesses the files. And if we don't, James asked. Then everyone dies, Victor said simply. Me, you, my family, everyone in this restaurant. If I'm going down, I'm taking people with me. Marco spoke up. His voice was shaky but determined. Boss, I don't think I can do this anymore. This is too much. Way too much. Marco, Victor started. No, Marco interrupted. I signed up to move drugs, make money, not to kill people, not to hurt families. This is wrong. All of it is wrong. Marco, don't be stupid, the older guard warned. I'm already stupid, Marco said. Stupid for getting involved in this. Stupid for thinking it would be easy money. Stupid for not walking away when I had the chance. He lowered his gun slowly. I'm done. I'm out. You want to shoot me? Shoot me. But I'm not doing this anymore. Marco. Victor's voice was sharp, commanding. Pick up that gun right now. Marco shook his head. He set the gun on a table. Then he put his hands up, surrendering, to the police, to his fate, to whatever came next. You're making a mistake, the older guard said. Maybe, Marco said. But at least I can live with myself. Minjun saw his chance. He moved fast, grabbed Marco's abandoned gun, pointed it at Victor before anyone could react. Nobody move, Minjun commanded. His voice was loud, authoritative. It's over, Victor. Put your gun down. But Victor was faster than Minjun expected. He grabbed Emma, pulled her in front of him, used her as a shield. His gun went to her head. You put your gun down, Victor said, or the girl dies. Emma screamed. Fresh tears ran down her face. She was so scared, so young. This was not supposed to be her life. She was supposed to take orders, make burgers, save money for college, not be a hostage with a gun to her head. James had his gun out too now. Pointed at the older guard. The guard pointed his gun at James. Another standoff. Another moment balanced on a knife edge. We're back where we started, the older guard said. Nobody wins this way. Someone has to win, Victor said. Someone always wins. Not always, Minjun said. Sometimes everyone loses. Is that what you want? Your family dies. You die. Innocent people die. All because you won't put the gun down. I put the gun down and I go to prison for life, Victor said. My family is already dead. The cartel won't let them live now. So what do I have to fight for? Why not take some people with me? It was the logic of a desperate man, a man with nothing left to lose. The most dangerous kind of man, because it's not over yet, James said. Your family might still be alive, but they definitely won't be if you die here. If you surrender, you can still help us find them. You know the cartel. You know how they operate. That knowledge could save your wife and kids. Victor's gun hand wavered slightly. He was listening, considering. But if you die here, James continued, that knowledge dies with you. Your family's only chance dies with you. Is that what you want? Outside, Minjun heard the rumble of a large vehicle. The armored van had arrived. The police kept their promise. The van is here, Minjun said. You got what you asked for. Now let Emma go. Take me instead. I'm a better hostage anyway. More valuable for negotiating. Victor looked toward the window, saw the large black armored van, police SWAT team surrounding it, snipers on rooftops, helicopters overhead. He was surrounded, outnumbered, outgunned. His family was in danger. His organization was crumbling. Everything he built was falling apart. How did it come to this? Victor asked. Not to anyone specific, just to the universe, to fate. I had everything. Money, power, respect. How did it all go so wrong? It went wrong when you chose this life, Minjun said. When you chose to hurt people, to sell poison to corrupt good people like Sarah. Every bad choice led to this moment. Sarah made a sound. A sob. He's right. I made bad choices too. So many bad choices. I thought I could protect my daughter by betraying my job, but I just made everything worse for everyone. We've all made mistakes, Marco said quietly. He was sitting on the floor now, hands still raised. But we can stop making them. We can choose different, right now. The older guard looked around at everyone, at Victor holding Emma, at James and Min Jun with their guns, at Marco surrendered on the floor, at Sarah crying, at the police outside. Boss, the older guard said slowly, maybe they're right. Maybe this is where it ends. Maybe we can't fight our way out of this. Are you betraying me too? Victor asked. His voice was tired. So tired. I'm trying to save your life, the guard said. And mine, and everyone else's. This doesn't have to end in death. Victor's gun hand dropped slowly, just a little. He was breaking. The pressure was too much. Too many things going wrong at once. Then his phone rang again. One more time. The cartel. Victor closed his eyes. He knew what this call would be. The end. The final warning. Do this now, or everyone you love dies. He did not answer it. Let it ring. 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 Until it stopped. I'm not answering them anymore, Victor said quietly. I'm done being their puppet, their tool. If I'm going to die, it's going to be on my terms, not theirs. He pushed Emma away gently. She stumbled toward Min Jun. Min Jun caught her, moved her behind him, protected her. Victor dropped his gun on the floor, raised his hands, surrendered. It's over, he said. You win, detective. Call off your people. I'm coming out. The older guard looked shocked, then relieved. He dropped his gun too, raised his hands. James moved quickly, secured both weapons, put handcuffs on Victor and the older guard. Min Jun called out toward the police. This is Detective Park. The hostages are secure. Suspects are in custody. We're coming out. The kitchen door opened. People started coming out, the families, the teenagers, the workers, all tied up but alive, all scared but safe. Officers rushed in, paramedics. They started untying people, checking for injuries, offering comfort. Emma's manager hugged her. You did so good, so brave, I'm so proud of you. The mother with the little girl held her daughter tight, both crying, both grateful to be alive. Marco was handcuffed, but he looked peaceful, like a weight lifted off his shoulders. Sarah sat alone, nobody comforting her. She betrayed everyone, the law, her co-workers, her oath. She would face justice, just like the others. But it was not over yet. Victor's family was still in danger, still being held by the cartel. Time was running out for them. Min Jun looked at his watch. They had maybe 15 minutes before the cartel's deadline. 15 minutes to find a wife and 2 children somewhere in a city of millions. The real race was just beginning. Lieutenant Cortez met Min Jun outside the restaurant. He was a big man with gray hair and sharp eyes. He had been with SWAT for 20 years. He had seen everything. Good work in there, Park, Cortez said. You kept everyone alive. That's what matters. It's not over, Min Jun said urgently. Victor Reyes has a wife and 2 kids. The cartel took them. They're going to kill them if we don't find them fast. Cortez's expression hardened. When? Minutes. Maybe 10. Maybe less. We need to move now. We don't even know where to start, Cortez said. The cartel could have taken them anywhere. Sarah Chen might know, Min Jun said. He looked back at the restaurant where Sarah was being processed. She claims she has files, addresses, properties the cartel uses. Cortez thought for a moment. Okay, get her, but she's still in custody. She doesn't get any deals. Not yet. Min Jun went back inside, found Sarah sitting in handcuffs. Her expensive suit was wrinkled now. Her perfect makeup was ruined by tears. She looked small, broken. Sarah, Min Jun said, you said you know where the cartel takes people, is that true? She looked up at him. Yes, I've seen the files, multiple times, properties they own through shell companies. Can you remember them, the addresses? Some, but not all. I'd need to access my computer at the office. We don't have time for that, Min-jun said. Victor's wife and kids will be dead in 10 minutes. You need to remember, now. Sarah closed her eyes, thinking, trying to recall. There's a warehouse in Vernon, industrial area near the railroad tracks. Address? Cortez asked. He had followed Min-jun inside. I don't remember the exact number, but it's on Bandini Boulevard, a big white warehouse. The company name is something like Pacific Import-Export. Cortez pulled out his radio. All units. We need eyes on Bandini Boulevard in Vernon. Looking for a white warehouse. Pacific Import-Export. Possible hostage situation. A voice crackled back. Copy that. Dispatching units now. What else? Min-jun asked Sarah. Where else might they take people? There's a house in Pacoima. Quiet neighborhood, looks normal from outside, but the basement is reinforced, soundproof. They use it for interrogations. Address? I don't know the street number, but it's on Haddon Avenue, near the park. Blue house with a red door. Cortez relayed that information too. More units dispatched. Any others? Min-jun pressed. Sarah shook her head. Those are the main two in Los Angeles. There are others outside the city. But if they moved fast, they'd use something close. Victor was brought out in handcuffs. When he saw Sarah talking, he moved toward her. Officers held him back. What did you tell them? Victor demanded. I'm trying to save your family, Sarah said. Even after everything, I'm trying to help. Victor's face showed confusion, anger, hope, all mixed together. If you're lying, if this is a trick. It's not, Sarah said firmly. I did terrible things, I know that. But I won't let children die. Not if I can stop it. Min-jun looked at Victor. Do either of those locations sound familiar? The warehouse or the house? The warehouse, yes, Victor said. I've been there. For meetings. But the house, I don't know it. Which one is more likely? Cortez asked. Victor thought hard. The warehouse. It's secure, private, away from people. That's where they'd take someone important. Then that's where we start, Cortez said. He looked at Min-jun. You coming? Min-jun nodded. This was personal now. He started this. He had to finish it. Let's go. Take me too, Victor said. Please, they're my family. Not happening, Cortez said. You're a prisoner, you stay in custody. I can help, Victor insisted. I know the layout, the security codes, where they keep people. Cortez looked at Min-jun. A silent question. What do you think? Min-jun considered it. Victor was a criminal, a drug dealer. He helped destroy lives, but he was also a father, a husband, someone with people he loved. He comes, Min-jun decided, but in restraints. And if he tries anything, we put him down. Understood? Victor nodded quickly. I won't cause problems. I just want my family safe. They loaded into a SWAT van. Min-jun, James, Cortez, Victor, and 6 SWAT officers. Full tactical gear, weapons ready. They had maybe 7 minutes now. The van raced through Los Angeles streets, sirens blaring, lights flashing. Traffic cleared out of their way. Victor sat between 2 officers, his hands cuffed in front of him. His face was pale, sweating. How much time? He asked. Min-jun checked his watch. 6 minutes. Drive faster, Victor said to the driver. We're going as fast as we can, the driver replied. The radio crackled. Team 2 reporting. We're at the Pacoima location. Blue house, red door. We have eyes on it. No obvious activity. Stand by, Cortez responded. Team 1 is approaching primary location in Vernon. They turned onto Bandini Boulevard. Industrial area. Warehouses and factories. Not many people around. Perfect place to hide something illegal. There, Victor said. He pointed ahead. The white warehouse. That's it. The van slowed down as they approached. The warehouse looked normal. Quiet. A few cars in the parking lot. Loading docks and back. Nothing obviously wrong. Could be empty, one SWAT officer said. Could be a false lead. Or they're inside staying quiet, another officer countered. Cortez looked at Victor. Security codes now. There's a keypad at the side door, Victor said. Code is 37926, but they might have changed it since I was last here. Guess we'll find out, Cortez said. The team exited the van, moved silently, professionally, years of training showing. They spread out around the warehouse, covered all exits, made sure nobody could escape. Minjun and James stayed close to the main entry team. They were detectives, not SWAT, but they had done this before. Raids, arrests, dangerous situations. Victor stayed in the van with two officers watching him. He pressed his face to the window, desperate to know what was happening. The team reached the side door. The keypad glowed green in the dim light. Cortez entered the code Victor gave them. 3, 7, 9, 2, 6. A beep, a click. The light turned red. Wrong code. They changed it, one officer said. Breach? Another asked. Cortez shook his head. Not yet. Check the other doors first, see if any are unlocked. Two officers moved around back, checking the loading docks, testing doors. Sir, one called out quietly. Loading dock 3. Doors open, just a crack. Could be a trap, James said. They might want us to come in that way. Or someone left it open by accident, Minjun said. Either way, it's our best entry point. The team moved to the loading dock. The door was indeed open slightly. Light spilled out from inside. And something else. Sound. Voices. Someone was definitely inside. Cortez made hand signals. Team split into 2 groups. Entry formation. Weapons ready. Minjun checked his watch. 4 minutes. They pulled the loading dock door open slowly, quietly. It rolled up with barely a sound. Good maintenance. Professional operation. Inside was a large open space. Boxes stacked everywhere. Crates, pallets, forklifts. It looked like a normal warehouse. But Minjun knew better. This was camouflage. The real operation would be somewhere hidden. The voices came from deeper inside, past the boxes, past the normal warehouse stuff. The team moved in, silent, deadly, like shadows. They used hand signals only. No talking, no noise. They passed the main warehouse floor, found a hallway in back. The voices got louder, more clear. Spanish, angry Spanish, someone yelling, someone pleading. Cortez held up his fist. Everyone stopped. He pointed to a door at the end of the hallway. Light showed under it. That's where the voices came from. An officer moved forward, pressed a small camera under the door, fed it through carefully. On a small screen they could see inside the room. 3 men, armed, automatic weapons, professional stance, cartel soldiers, no amateurs, and sitting on the floor. A woman, 2 children, hands tied, tape over their mouths, eyes wide with terror. Victor's family. Minjun felt relief and dread at the same time. They found them. They were alive. But getting them out safely would be difficult. Very difficult. Cortez studied the screen, counted the hostiles, looked at the layout, calculated angles, risk, probability of success. Some jurors looked sympathetic, others looked skeptical. Sarah made a terrible choice, David continued. She admits that. She knows what she did was wrong, but she did it to save her daughter's life. She was a victim too. A victim of the cartel's threats, their intimidation, their violence. He pointed toward where Minjun sat. You will hear from Detective Park. He will tell you about the hostage situation, about how Sarah helped save Victor Reyes's family, how she gave police the address, how she cooperated even when it was dangerous. David walked back to his table. Sarah Chen made mistakes, but she's not a monster. She's a scared mother who made bad choices under terrible pressure. I ask you to remember that, to consider that, to show mercy when you make your decision. He sat down. Also strong. Different approach. Emotional. Human. Judge Martinez called a short recess. Then the trial would begin. Witnesses would be called. Evidence presented. The process of justice would unfold. Min Jun stepped outside for air. The courthouse had a small garden area. Quiet. Away from reporters. He found a bench. Sat down. Tried to calm his mind. Detective Park? He looked up. A woman stood there. Maybe 60 years old. Kind face. Sad eyes. Yes, Min Jun said. I'm Hana Kim's mother, she said quietly. Min Jun stood immediately. Mrs. Kim, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you, she said. I wanted to meet you. Thank you for catching the person who got my daughter killed. Thank you for keeping your promise. Min Jun felt emotion rising. He pushed it down, stayed professional. Your daughter was a hero. She deserved justice. She did. Mrs. Kim agreed. Will you tell the court about her? About what kind of person she was? If they ask, yes, Min Jun said. I will tell them she was brave, dedicated, a good cop and a good friend. Mrs. Kim touched his arm gently. Ji-won asks about you sometimes. She remembers you came to the house. Before, when Hana was alive. How is she? Min Jun asked. Ji-won? She's strong, like her mother, but she cries at night sometimes when she thinks I can't hear. Min Jun felt his chest tighten. I'm sorry I couldn't save Hana. I'm sorry I wasn't there that night. You couldn't have known, Mrs. Kim said. Nobody could. But you made it right. You found who did this. That matters. That means something. I hope so, Min Jun said quietly. The bailiff called for everyone to return. The trial was resuming. Will you come visit Ji-won sometime? Mrs. Kim asked. She would like that. To talk to someone who knew her mother, who worked with her. Yes, Min Jun said. I'd be honored. They walked back inside together. Mrs. Kim sat in the gallery. Min Jun returned to the witness area. The prosecution calls Detective Min Jun Park to the stand. Rachel Han announced. This was it. Min Jun stood, walked to the witness stand, placed his hand on the Bible. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? The bailiff asked. I do, Min Jun said. He sat down, faced the courtroom, hundreds of eyes on him, cameras recording. His testimony would be broadcast, analyzed, remembered. Rachel approached with a kind smile, professional but warm. Detective Park, please state your name and position for the record. Min Jun Park, detective with the Los Angeles Police Department, Narcotics Division. How long have you been with the department? 8 years. And how long did you work with Detective Hana Kim? 5 years. She was my partner. Rachel nodded. Can you tell the court about the night Detective Kim was killed? Min Jun took a breath. It was 6 months ago, October 15th. A team was executing a raid on a drug house in Compton. Detective Kim was part of that team. I was working a different case that night. What happened during the raid? The suspects were ready. They knew police were coming. They ambushed the officers. Detective Kim was shot during the initial exchange of gunfire. She died at the scene. Rachel showed photos on a screen. The crime scene, evidence markers, blood. The jury looked uncomfortable. Good. They should be uncomfortable. This was real. This was serious. What did the investigation reveal? Rachel asked. Someone leaked information about the raid. Someone told the suspects when and where police would be coming. And who was that someone? Min Jun looked at Sarah. She was crying quietly, trying to hide it, failing. Our investigation showed that Sarah Chen provided information to Victor Reyes. She gave him raid schedules, case details. She warned him about operations in advance. How do you know this? I went undercover. I infiltrated Reyes's organization. I recorded meetings. I documented exchanges of information. I personally witnessed Sarah Chen meeting with Victor Reyes. I recorded their conversation. Rachel introduced the recording as evidence, played it for the jury. Sarah's voice, clear, unmistakable, talking about quarterly reports, shipments, all code words, but obvious code words. The jury listened carefully. Some took notes, some just stared at Sarah, judging, forming opinions. "What else happened that day, Detective Park?" Rachel asked. Min-Jun told the story, the restaurant, the hostage situation, Victor's family, all of it. The jury listened intently. Some gasped at certain parts. The moment Victor held a gun to the child's head. The moment the rescue happened. "Did the defendant cooperate during this crisis?" Rachel asked. "Eventually, yes," Min-Jun admitted. "She provided an address, a location where Victor's family was being held. That information helped us save them." "But that doesn't change what she did before, does it?" Rachel asked. "No," Min-Jun said firmly. "It doesn't." Rachel had no more questions. She sat down. David stood. Sarah's lawyer. His turn now. Cross-examination. "Detective Park," David said. "You mentioned Sarah Chen was threatened by the cartel, that they threatened her daughter. Did you find evidence of these threats?" "She claimed she was threatened," Min-Jun said carefully. "We found no physical evidence of threats, no threatening messages, no photos, nothing." "But absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence, is it?" David pressed. "The cartel could have made verbal threats, shown her things without leaving copies." "It's possible," Min-Jun admitted. "In your experience, Detective, do cartels commonly threaten people's families to force cooperation?" "Yes, it's a common tactic." "So it's entirely plausible that Sarah Chen was threatened, that she was forced to cooperate?" "Objection," Rachel said. "Speculation." "Sustained," Judge Martinez ruled. David tried another approach. "Detective, when you were undercover, did you see Sarah Chen willingly working with the cartel? Did she seem enthusiastic? Happy?" Min-Jun thought about it, honest. She seemed nervous, scared even, like she didn't want to be there. Not like someone doing something by choice? "Objection. Leading," Rachel said. "Sustained." David continued. "You also testified that Sarah helped save Victor Reyes's family, that she provided crucial information during a crisis, correct?" "Yes." "Despite knowing it might implicate her further? Despite knowing it could be used against her?" "Yes." "Why do you think she did that, Detective?" Min-Jun considered. "I believe she didn't want children to die. Whatever else she did, she drew a line there." "So she has moral principles? A conscience?" "Objection. Calls for conclusion," Rachel said. "Withdrawn," David said quickly. He had made his point anyway. The cross-examination continued for another hour. David tried hard, but the facts were stubborn. The evidence was strong. Sarah's guilt was clear. Finally, Judge Martinez called for a lunch recess. Min-Jun left the witness stand. Exhausted. Testifying was draining. Every word mattered. Every answer analyzed. He ate lunch alone in the courthouse cafeteria. Not hungry, but forcing himself to eat. He would testify again in the afternoon. More questions, more details. As he ate, he watched news on the TV mounted in the corner. The trial was the top story. His face on screen, quotes from his testimony, analysis from legal experts. "Strong testimony from Detective Park," one expert said. "Clear, detailed, credible. The defense has an uphill battle." Min-Jun turned away from the TV, didn't want to watch himself, didn't want to hear the analysis. A shadow fell across his table. He looked up. Sarah Chen stood there, handcuffed. 2 officers nearby. She had somehow gotten permission to approach. "Detective Park," she said quietly. "Can I talk to you? Just for a minute?" Min-Jun didn't know if he should, but he nodded. She sat across from him. The officers stayed close, watching. 5 years after the hostage situation at Goldenberger, Min-Jun Park stood at a podium. A conference room filled with young police recruits, fresh faces, eager eyes. people who wanted to make a difference. He was invited to speak, to tell his story, to inspire the next generation of officers. He agreed because the message mattered. The lessons mattered. 5 years ago, Min-jun began. I walked into a fast food restaurant for lunch. Just a normal Tuesday. I ordered my usual burger and fries. I had no idea that day would change everything. The recruits listened intently. Some had heard the story. Some hadn't. All were interested. I was there for a case, investigating corruption, tracking criminals, seeking justice for my fallen partner. I thought I had everything planned, everything under control. He paused, remembering. But life doesn't follow plans. Things went wrong. Hostages were taken, guns were drawn, people were scared, and I had to make choices, hard choices, choices that would affect many lives. Min-jun looked around the room, made eye contact with several recruits. That's what being a cop is, making hard choices, under pressure, with lives at stake, with no time to think, just your training, your instincts, your values. A young woman raised her hand. How did you know what to do? I didn't, Min-jun admitted honestly. Not always. I made mistakes. I took risks. But I remembered my training. I trusted my partner. And I focused on the most important thing. What was that? The woman asked. Protecting innocent people. That's always the priority, always, no matter what else is happening. No matter how complicated things get. Innocent people come first. He clicked a remote. A slide appeared on the screen behind him. Photos from that day. The restaurant, the police presence, the aftermath. This case taught me many things, Min-jun continued. About crime, about justice, about people. The most important lesson was this. People are complicated. Good people can make terrible choices. Bad people can do good things. Nothing is simple. Another recruit raised his hand. What happened to everyone involved? Min-jun smiled. Good question. Let me tell you. He clicked to another slide. A photo of Sarah Chen. Sarah Chen, the prosecutor who betrayed her oath. She's still in prison, but she's teaching other inmates, running rehabilitation programs, helping people. She made terrible mistakes, but she's trying to do better, to be better. Next slide. Victor Reyes with his family. Victor Reyes, the drug dealer. He cooperated fully, gave us information that shut down major cartel operations, saved lives. He'll be released in 5 years. His family is safe, building a new life. Next slide. Marco. Marco, the young guard who surrendered. He served his time. He's working honest now. Construction supervisor. Helps at-risk youth, trying to prevent others from making his mistakes. Next slide. Emma in her graduation gown. Emma, the teenage cashier. She graduated college. She's a social worker now, helps trauma victims, turns her pain into purpose. The recruits smiled. Happy endings, or at least hopeful endings. But not everyone made it, Min-jun said, his voice serious. He clicked to a photo of Hana Kim in uniform. Detective Hana Kim, my partner, my friend. She was killed because someone betrayed her. She paid the ultimate price for serving her community. The room went quiet, somber, understanding the weight. Hana left behind a daughter, Ji-won. She's 19 now, in college, studying criminal justice. She wants to be a cop, like her mother. Min-jun felt emotion rising, pushed it down, stayed professional. I still visit her, tell her stories about her mom, about the cases we solved, the lives we saved. I try to help her understand that her mother was a hero, that her sacrifice mattered. He looked around the room again. That's what you're signing up for. When you put on this badge, you're promising to protect people, even at great cost, even at great risk, even if it means you don't go home. The recruits looked serious now, understanding the weight of the choice they were making. But you're also promising to seek justice, to hold people accountable, to be honest, to be fair, to be the kind of person people can trust, can count on, can believe in. Minjun clicked to the final slide. A simple message. Make good choices. That's my advice, he said. Every day, every moment, every decision. Make good choices, not easy choices, not convenient choices. Good choices. Choices you can be proud of. Choices that honor the badge you wear. He paused. Because small choices become big choices. Sarah Chen didn't wake up one day and decide to be corrupt. She made small compromises, small bad choices, and those small choices became bigger, until she was trapped, until someone died. The room was silent, everyone processing, thinking. So choose well, Minjun said. Choose integrity over convenience. Choose justice over personal gain. Choose service over self. Those choices will define who you are, what kind of cop you become, what kind of person you are. A recruit asked, "Do you still think about that day? The hostage situation?" "Every day," Minjun said honestly. "Sometimes I dream about it. All the things that could have gone wrong. All the people who could have died. But I also think about all the people who lived, who were saved, who got second chances." "Do you have any regrets?" another recruit asked. Minjun thought carefully. "I regret that Hana died. I regret I couldn't save her. But I don't regret pursuing justice. I don't regret the choices I made that day. I did my best. Protected as many people as I could. That has to be enough." The lecture ended. Recruits came up to shake his hand. Thank him. Ask more questions. Minjun answered patiently. This was important. Passing knowledge to the next generation. Preparing them for what was ahead. Later, James found him in the parking lot. "Good speech." "Thanks. You think they heard it? Really heard it?" "Some did. Some will remember when it matters. When they face their own hard choices. Your words will come back to them." Minjun hoped that was true. "How's the trafficking case?" "Good progress. We made 3 arrests last week, freed 17 victims, still more work to do, but we're making a difference." "That's what matters," Minjun said. "One victim at a time, one arrest at a time, one victory at a time." They stood in comfortable silence, partners, friends, still fighting the good fight. "Dinner Sunday?" James asked. "My wife is making kalbi. She says I need to bring you by more often." "I'd love to, but I'm having dinner with Jiwon and her grandmother. It's Hana's birthday. We're celebrating her memory." James nodded, understanding. "Another time then." "Definitely." They parted ways, each heading home. Another day of good work done. More work waiting tomorrow. Minjun drove to the cemetery. He visited sometimes, to talk, to remember, to honor. Hana's grave was well maintained, fresh flowers always. Mrs. Kim made sure of that. "Hey partner," Minjun said to the headstone. "Just gave a talk to new recruits. Told them about you, about that day, about making good choices." He sat on the grass. "Jiwon is doing great, really great. She's strong, smart, determined, just like you. She wants to be a cop. I'm helping her prepare, making sure she knows what she's getting into." The wind rustled through trees, peaceful, quiet. "I think about you often," Minjun continued. "About our cases, our partnership, our friendship. You made me a better cop, a better person. I try to honor that. Every day, every case, every choice." He stood, brushed grass off his pants. "I miss you. I wish you were here. But I know you'd be proud of Jiwon, of what I'm doing, of the difference we're still making. Your legacy lives on. Through me. Through your daughter. Through every life we save." Minjun placed his hand on the headstone. "Rest easy, partner. I've got this. I've got Jiwon. I've got the job. I'm keeping my promises. All of them." He walked back to his car. The sun was setting. Golden light across the city. Beautiful. Peaceful. Sunday came. Minjun arrived at Mrs. Kim's house at 6 o'clock. Just like always. He brought flowers, Hana's favorites, white lilies. Uncle Minjun, Jiwon answered the door. She was tall now, beautiful, confident, so much like her mother. Hey kiddo, Minjun said. He hugged her. She hugged back. Strong. Happy. Mrs. Kim appeared from the kitchen. Right on time, come in. Dinner is almost ready. The house smelled amazing. Korean food, bulgogi, kimchi, japchae, all Hana's favorites. They ate together, talked, laughed, shared memories. This was tradition now. Hana's birthday, a celebration of her life, not mourning her death, celebrating who she was, what she meant, how she lived. Tell me a story about Mom, Jiwon asked, like she always did, like she never got tired of hearing. Minjun thought for a moment. Okay, there was this one time. We were staking out a suspect's house. Boring work, hours of sitting in a car, watching, waiting. Jiwon leaned forward, interested. Your mom got hungry, really hungry. She always got cranky when she was hungry. So I went to get food. Burgers, fries, the works. And? Jiwon prompted. And while I was gone, the suspect made his move. Started loading boxes into his car. Your mom had to follow him alone. She called for backup, but she couldn't wait. She had to move. Mrs. Kim smiled. She'd heard this story before, but she liked hearing it again. So your mom follows him, across the city, keeping distance, staying hidden. Finally, the backup arrives. We surround him, make the arrest. Found 200 pounds of cocaine in those boxes. Huge bust. What did Mom say? Jiwon asked. Minjun laughed. She said, next time I'm getting the food. You have terrible timing. Then she ate both burgers because she was so hungry. They all laughed. It felt good. Remembering happy times, funny moments. The person Hana was beyond the badge, beyond the job. I miss her, Jiwon said quietly. Every day. Is that normal? After all this time? Very normal, Minjun said gently. I miss her too. Time doesn't erase that, but it gets easier. The pain becomes softer. The memories become sweeter. Do you think she'd be proud of me? Jiwon asked. Wanting to be a cop? Yes, Minjun said without hesitation. She'd be so proud, but she'd also want to make sure you understand what you're choosing. The danger, the sacrifice, the hard parts. I know, Jiwon said seriously. That's why I want you to train me, teach me, help me be as good as she was. Minjun felt honored, touched. I will, I promise, but you have to promise me something too. What? Promise you'll make good choices, always, no matter how hard, no matter how tempting the easy path is. Promise you'll be the kind of cop your mom was, honest, brave, dedicated. Jiwon nodded firmly. I promise, I swear. They finished dinner, had cake, chocolate, Hana's favorite, sang happy birthday to her memory, a bittersweet celebration, sad but also joyful, remembering a life well lived, a person well loved. As Minjun left that night, Jiwon walked him to his car. Uncle Minjun, she said, thank you, for everything, for not forgetting Mom, for being there for me, for keeping your promises. Always, Minjun said. Your mom was my partner, my friend. That doesn't end just because she's gone. You're family now, forever. Family, Jiwon repeated. She smiled. I like that. Minjun drove home feeling full, not just from food, but from connection, from purpose, from love. This was what mattered, not the big cases, not the arrests, not the glory, but the relationships, the people, the lives touched and changed and improved. That was the real work, the real victory, the real reward. At home, Minjun sat in his favorite chair, thought about the past 5 years, everything that happened, everything that changed. Sarah still in prison, but helping others, growing, changing, maybe not redeemed fully, but trying. That counted for something. Victor released from prison in a few years, reunited with his family, a second chance earned through cooperation and testimony. Marco living honest, working hard, mentoring youth, preventing others from his mistakes. Emma helping trauma victims, turning pain into purpose, making a difference every day. Ji-won preparing to be a cop, to honor her mother's legacy, to protect and serve. And Min-jun, still fighting, still protecting, still seeking justice, but also believing in mercy, in redemption, in second chances. The case changed him, made him see complexity, made him understand that people could grow, could change, could become better. That didn't excuse crimes, didn't erase consequences, but it offered hope, possibility, the chance that tomorrow could be better than today. Min-jun's phone buzzed. Text from Captain Lee. New case tomorrow, missing persons, possible trafficking connection. Need you and Woo on it. Min-jun typed back. We're ready. Briefing time? 0800. We'll be there. More work. Always more work. But good work. Important work. Work that mattered. Min-jun looked at Hana's photo on his shelf. Another day, another case, another chance to make a difference. Just like you taught me, partner. Just like you would do. He went to bed that night at peace. Ready for tomorrow. Ready for whatever came. Ready to keep fighting, keep protecting, keep honoring Hana's memory through his actions. This was his life, his choice, his calling, and he had never been more sure of it, never been more committed to it. The story that began with a calm lunch turning deadly 5 years ago continued. But it was different now. Not just about revenge, not just about justice, but about healing, about growth, about becoming better. Min-jun was better now, wiser, more compassionate, more understanding, still dedicated, still tough, but also more human, more connected. The case taught him that, about complexity, about possibility, about hope, and he carried those lessons forward into every new case, every new challenge, every new opportunity, because justice wasn't just about punishment. It was about protection, about healing, about making things better, about giving people chances to grow, to change, to become more than their worst mistakes. That was real justice, complete justice. Justice that honored victims while also believing in redemption for those who truly sought it. That was the lesson, the truth, the path forward. And Min-jun would walk that path. Every day, for the rest of his career, for the rest of his life, for Hana, for Ji-won, for all the people who needed someone to believe in them, to fight for them, to protect them. That was Detective Min-jun Park. 5 years after a calm lunch turned deadly. 5 years after a hostage situation changed everything. 5 years after justice was served. Still fighting, still protecting, still making a difference. One case at a time, one person at a time, one choice at a time. The story continued. The mission continued. The promise continued. Always. Forever. Without end. Because that's what heroes do. They don't stop. They don't quit. They keep fighting for what's right. Keep protecting the innocent. Keep seeking justice. No matter how long it takes. No matter how hard it gets. No matter what it costs. They keep going. Always. Forever. And Min-jun Park was a hero. Not because he wanted to be, but because people needed him to be. And he answered that call. Every single day. That was his story, his legacy, his life. And it was beautiful, meaningful, important, not perfect. Not without pain, not without loss. But good, real, true. And that was enough. More than enough. It was everything. The calm lunch that turned deadly 5 years ago was now a memory, a lesson, a foundation for everything that came after. It shaped Min-jun, changed him, made him better, stronger, wiser. And he used that experience, that knowledge, that growth, to help others, to protect people, to seek justice, to offer mercy. That was the real ending. Not revenge, not punishment, but growth, evolution, becoming better than before. That was the victory, the triumph, the success. And it would continue. Tomorrow, next week, next year. For as long as Min Jun wore the badge, for as long as he could make a difference, that was his promise. To Hana, to Ji-won, to himself, to everyone who counted on him. And Detective Min Jun Park always kept his promises. Always. Without fail. Without exception. That was who he was. Who he chose to be. Who he would always be. A protector. A fighter. A seeker of justice. A believer in redemption. A hero. Not perfect. But trying. Always trying. To be better. To do better. To make the world a little bit safer. A little bit fairer. A little bit more just. One case at a time. One person at a time. One choice at a time. That was the way. The path. The mission. And Min Jun walked that path proudly. Honorably. Faithfully. Every single day. For the rest of his life. For justice. For honor. For love. For everything that mattered. Everything that was good and right and true in the world. That was his story. And it would continue. Forever. Always. Without end. Because the fight for justice never ends. The need for protection never stops. The call to serve never fades. And Min Jun answered that call. Every day. With everything he had. Everything he was. Everything he would ever be. That was Detective Min Jun Park. Hero, protector, friend, family, and his story continued. Beyond this ending. Into tomorrow. Into the future. Into all the days and years and cases ahead. Ready, willing, committed, dedicated, faithful, true. That was his promise, his purpose, his life, his legacy, his everything. And it was good. It was right. It was enough. It was perfect. It was exactly what it needed to be. The calm lunch that turned deadly was now the foundation for everything that came after. The beginning of something bigger, something better, something that mattered, and that was the real story. Not the danger, not the fear, not the violence, but the growth, the healing, the hope, the possibility, the promise of tomorrow being better than today. That was the truth, the lesson, the victory, the ending that was really just another beginning. And Min Jun Park was ready for it all. Every moment, every challenge, every opportunity, every choice, every day, for justice, for honor, for love, for life, for everything worth fighting for, everything worth protecting, everything worth believing in. That was Detective Min Jun Park, and his story continued. Forever. Always. The end.